What if the solution to one of modern medicine's most urgent threats was hiding right under our noses, in a plant that's been around for centuries? Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today. We're breaking down a fascinating scientific review that looks at the incredible potential of cannabis to fight drug-resistant superbug. And really, this is the big question, isn't it? Every single year, millions of people get infections from bacteria and fungi that have just learned to ignore our best antibiotics. It's like a silent pandemic unfolding all around us, and scientists are in a race against time to find new weapons. And it turns out, the answer might just be hiding in a place most of us would never think to look. All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we're going to get a handle on just how serious this superbug crisis is. Then, we'll introduce our unlikely plant hero. After that, we'll uncover its secret weapons, see exactly how it fights back, and finally, we'll look at what all of this could mean for the future of medicine. Okay, so first things first, let's set the stage. And look, we're not talking about your everyday sniffles here. We are talking about a major escalating problem where the drugs we have relied on for decades are, well, they're starting to fail us against some really dangerous bacteria and fungi. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This quote is pulled directly from the scientific review we're covering, and it really couldn't be clearer. This isn't just some vague concern. It's a direct, unambiguous warning from the medical community about the massive challenge we're up against. So, if our modern medicine cabinet is coming up short, where do we possibly go from here? Well, faced with this very modern threat, scientists are actually looking back in time to an unlikely ally. An ancient plant with a really long history of medicinal use. Yep, we're talking about cannabis sativa. Now, this review is focused on brand new research, but it makes a really important point. Using this plant as medicine is not a new idea at all. Its therapeutic history goes back for centuries. It's a classic case of looking to the past to solve a huge problem of the future. So, what is the secret sauce here? What gives this plant its power? Let's peel back the layers and meet the chemical compounds that could make it a legit superbug killer. Turns out there are two main players leading the charge. First up, we have cannabinoids. Now, you've probably heard of these before, right? But maybe for their other effects. Well, it turns out these same compounds are also pretty fierce warriors when it comes to fighting bacteria and fungi. Scientists are just now starting to unlock their full potential against these infections. But here's the thing. Cannabinoids aren't fighting this battle alone. They have a powerful partner, terpenes. These are the compounds that give plants their unique smells. Like the amazing scent of a pine forest or the relaxing aroma of lavender. But in cannabis, they do way more than just smell nice. They have their own bug-fighting properties. And, get this, they can actually boast the effectiveness of the cannabinoids. It's like they create this powerful 1-2 punch against superbugs. Okay, so we've got these two powerful groups of compounds, the cannabinoids and the terpenes. But how do they actually team up to take down a superbug? Well, it's not just a single attack. It's more like a coordinated assault, hitting the enemy on multiple fronts at once. This is basically their battle plan. First, they go right after the bug's outer defenses, literally tearing holes in its cell membrane. Next, they destroy something called the biofilm. You can think of that as a slimy, protective fortress that bacteria build around themselves to hide from our antibiotics. These compounds just wipe it out. They can even kill off tough, dormant bacterial spores. But the really amazing part is how they work together. It's what's called a synergistic effect, meaning their combined power is way, way greater than what either one could do on its own. It's a perfect example of teamwork. And this isn't just theory. Okay, the review points to specific, really nasty pathogens that these compounds have proven effective against. We're talking about notorious bacteria like Staphylococcus aureus and fungi like Candida on this hit list. I mean, these are some of the exact superbugs that cause the most serious drug-resistant infections in hospitals today. So, stepping back for a second, what does all this mean for the future of medicine? This is huge. We're not just talking about one new drug here, but potentially a whole new way of thinking about fighting infections. This research is basically opening the door to a new medical frontier, one where we can finally harness the power of nature to fight back against this growing threat. And this is the key takeaway right here. The potential that's locked inside these compounds isn't just some cool scientific fact. It represents real, tangible hope. Hope for developing entirely new kinds of therapies that could give us a fighting chance against infections that our current medicines just can't touch anymore. Which, brings us to a final, pretty big thought. As our modern medicine starts to hit a wall, as it faces the limits of its man-made arsenal, this research really forces us to ask a compelling question. Is it possible that the key to solving tomorrow's biggest health crises has been waiting for us this whole time, hidden away in nature's oldest pharmacy?